Hey Tucson friends! Are you or someone you know a local Tucson business owner who's looking to expand their visibility, grow their brand, and engage more with their community? Well, I want to talk to you. Don't just be a listener. Come on the show and interview. Showcase your business. Tell us all about your story. Tell about the highs, the lows, and how you serve the Tucson community. We would love to hear what you have to say and hear the intricacies of your business. Humanize your brand, position yourself as a thought leader, and get in front of more eyes and ears. Click the link below and star on an episode. I look forward to talking with you. Now back to the show. Welcome to T. Lokes, Tucson's local business podcast. I'm your host, L. Connor McEverly, and in each episode, we embark on a journey to connect with the passionate minds behind the businesses and nonprofits that make our community thrive. Join me as I sit down with the owners, visionaries, and change makers who pour their hearts into shaping the local landscape. We explore the challenges, triumphs, and unique journeys that define Tucson's business community. From the corner coffee shop to the innovative startups and impactful nonprofits, T. Lokes is your window into the diverse stories that make our city special. Tune in and get ready to get connected. This is T. Lokes. Howdy, folks, and welcome to T. Lokes, your Tucson local business podcast. I'm your host, L. Connor McEverly, and joining me via virtual chat today is the founder and owner of Soul Bodyworks, a business that helps athletes and active adults get out of pain, moving better, and back to doing what they enjoy. It is my pleasure to introduce to the show, Becky Wesoloski. Becky, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you very much. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited to talk more about Soul Bodyworks. So let's just dive right in, right? Can you tell me about Soul Bodyworks? What's your mission and what set you on it?
So I started Soul Bodyworks about 6 years ago. It's gone through a few name changes over the years, but I've settled on the Soul Bodyworks, and that's what it's going to be. I originally started it because I've always been an athlete my whole life. I am an equestrian, so I ride horses. I grew up playing hockey, so I've always been in that athletic space, doing a lot of training, performing a lot. And I actually suffered from a lot of low back pain, especially with riding the horses. So I went through everything. Like I went through a lot of practitioners who were not helpful at all. And it took a lot of years to find someone who could actually help me. So now I've modeled my business from what I've learned from the practitioners who've helped me. I want to do the same for other people. So I do a lot of work with athletes, especially equestrians, and I just want to be able to help them get out of pain and moving better, because I know I've been there. I know what it's like, and it's not fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, any sort of chronic pain it's a pain, right? And it's really rough, and it can't be overstated how important it is to, help people get out of their pain. I've had very minimal, I don't know about minimal. I've woken up in the middle of the night sometime. I used to do vegetation work for the Park Service. So I was backcountry navigating all over the Rincon Mountains, and that thrashed my knees pretty bad. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and my knees were throbbing, right? And when I started learning how to do the proper exercises and stretches, it was a brand new world. It was nice to be able to sleep through a full night without waking up to my throbbing knees. So that's really,
yes.
So you have a great mission here. And I'm just curious, what about the name Soul Bodyworks resonated with you,
So I had a horse. My first horse was named Sunny.
Nice.
And I always had this thought in my head, one day I'm going to name something after her. She's a horse that really changed my life.
Yeah.
You always have those 1 in a million horses, and she was it for me. So I really wanted to do something to honor her after she passed away.
Yeah.
Never in a million years thought it would be a business, but here we are. Also a big fan of The Lion King. And as you know, if you've seen The Lion King, the sun plays a big role in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just coming up with a business name, nothing Sunny made any sense, but Soul is sun in Spanish, and it flowed really well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a lovely story. That is touching to be able to name your business after such an impactful connection that you've had. That's really great. Looking through like your website and some of the research that I did, I know that you do some massage, you work with kettlebells, and you do some like equestrian therapy as well. And I want to touch on all of these a little bit, but can we start with you breaking down why kettlebells are such effective tools for wellness?
Yeah, so kettlebells are my absolute favorite. I've done a lot of different workouts in the gym through my years of training, and the kettlebell has just brought me such joy. It really changed my life. So I like when I started working with kettlebells, I was really in a space of like, I just felt icky all the time. I was working myself to death. I was tired. I just didn't feel good at all. So I wasn't working out at all.
Yeah.
And then I started working with a physical therapist who had a specialization in kettlebells. I started working with him, and it really transformed my entire life. Like
Yeah.
I started to feel better. I was eating better. Like my business was going better. My personal life was better. Everything just
Right.
got better because I felt better. So internally, I felt better from the kettlebell workouts. They just made me stronger, more resilient.
Yeah.
It really changed my life.
Totally. And that's always like a profound thing, right? To just feel that sort of like wellness and to feel like better in your own skin. I mean, like, I started doing some training in early July, and that was great. Like the benefits are just, they cascade from there, right? But in a lot of my experience, I'm kind of doing like your classic sort of like weightlifting, the bench press, the
Mhm.
rows, blah blah blah. You know, and what makes like kettlebell kind of different from that?
Yeah, so kettlebells are more of a full body workout. You get the cardio aspect, you get the strength aspect, and you're working your entire body.
Yeah.
So that would really make some different. I can do a kick-ass kettlebell workout in 20, 30 minutes and be done.
Yeah.
And I'm good for the day. And it doesn't leave me drained for the rest of my day either. Like I
Right.
still can go out and function. I can run my business, see clients, and I'm not tired.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, because definitely those like larger training days would wipe me out. And afterwards, like
Mhm.
I would hope I wouldn't have a meeting afterwards, just doing my low key editing work right after. No pressure.
Right.
Yeah. So you've been talking about like you do some equestrian therapy. Can you tell me more about that just in general?
Yeah, so I do. So I'm a licensed massage therapist. And as part of my continuing education, I got a certification in equine massage.
Wow. Okay.
It felt only natural since I'm massaging people and
Yeah.
I work a lot with horses. So I might as well do horse massage as well.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I've worked with a lot of horses. Horses are athletes too. The
Right.
things we ask of them are not normal.
Yeah. Totally.
uh, So they really benefit from massage services as well. Like they get muscle tension, they get tired,
Yeah.
uh, and their body they have aches and pains just like we do. And
Totally.
I mean, honestly, I've worked on a lot of horse and rider pairs, and a lot of the times what I see in the human,
Hmm.
I see that same ailment in the horse.
Oh, that's so interesting. Can you
Yes.
can you give me an example?
So, for example, I've worked on a woman. She does eventing, which is a combination of jumping and dressage.
Okay.
So, she was having a lot of pain in her left shoulder.
Okay.
Um, and, I worked on her to work through that pain. I happened to work on her. She had me work on her horse as well. And sure enough, working on the horse, I'm like, oh, your horse is a little tight in its left shoulder.
So
uh,
interesting. Yeah.
so it was just very fascinating to find that. And the more horse and rider pairs I worked on, the more I was like, oh, okay, this is happening
Yeah.
in other horse and rider pairs. So it's just
Yeah.
that energy transfer. A lot of the times our horses take on what we're feeling.
Yeah.
And so it only makes sense that, oh, okay, like if you're restricted somewhere, you're not moving well in that area. So the same thing is going to happen for them too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so I have very limited experience with horses, but I have known many people and I've, read books, watched movies, blah, blah, blah. But they speak about like the profound connection that people make with horses and that horses make with people as well. Like it's a really deep and powerful bond. I don't really know where I'm going with that, but that's it's interesting to me. It seems like that does kind of track, right? Like the horse and the rider being so connected that they would have some like similar ailments.
Howdy, listener. This is Connor. Thank you so much for listening to our episode today. If you find these interviews enriching, one of the easiest ways you can help this show is to leave a rating and a review. If you go into your podcast player, for Apple Podcasts, if you scroll beneath all of the episodes, you'll find a spot where you can rate and review. If you just click that and add a review, that helps others find these impactful episodes and hear the valuable insights of the people who are the heartbeat of the Tucson community. So if you have a moment, please do that. It really helps the show. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for your support. Toodaloo.
And I guess I'm curious too, like when you have like, let's say you have like a horse for a patient, right? Like, how do you know, like, how do you identify where they may be having pain? And then how do you identify that it's like getting better?
Yeah. So a lot of times with horses, like I'm fortunate, a lot of the horses I work on, I get to watch the horse and rider move.
Yeah.
So I get to see them together. And so I'm able to kind of see what's going on the horse. I'm kind of able to see where the restriction is in the rider.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the riders will tell me like, my horse isn't doing this the way I want it to. So then I'll be like, okay, what could be causing that? Let's take a look. And then I kind of go from there. So a lot of times I'll work on an area of the horse that the riders tell me, okay, this is happening. I work on that area. And then when the rider gets back on, I'm like, okay, tell me how your next ride went. And a lot of times they'll tell me like, oh, hey, they can do this now.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how I know what's going on.
Right. Absolutely. No, that's really cool. Cause it seems to me like it'd be a challenge, right? When we can't speak with horses. So like it'd be different from massaging a person who's like, oh yeah, this hurts right here. And yeah, that feels great. So that's really, really interesting.
Yeah. Working with horses is a lot of learning their body language, learning how to communicate with them through body language, and then through touch. Like I can feel their muscle tissue, and sometimes they'll react a little. Sometimes if I hit a sore spot. So yeah, but honestly, I think working with horses has made me better for working on people.
So interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you elaborate on that just a little?
Yeah. So since horses can't speak to me, I have to figure it out.
Right.
Like based on their body language, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times even with people, they don't know, they didn't realize something was hurting them until I get my hands on them.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I didn't realize that was sore.
Right.
A lot of times I can tell just from watching them move.
Yeah.
As I'm working on them and I feel that muscle tissue, I can tell, areas they're holding tension.
Right.
I ask a lot of questions, like kind of what's going on in their life.
Yeah.
A lot of it, I feel like, is a lot of intuition. I feel like from working with horses, I developed a lot of intuition over the years.
Awesome.
And that's just kind of translated into working on people as well. A lot of times they don't even know something that happened to them maybe 10 years ago. So you got in a car accident 10 years ago, your body still holds onto that trauma.
Right.
And it shows up. And a lot of times people just don't know that until they get on my table. And then I'm like, wait, did this happen at all in your life? And they're like, oh yeah, it did.
Right. Wow. That's really cool. That's really interesting. Goodness. So we're like talking about how, Soul Bodyworks is really like a grand culmination of a lot of your experiences, your like experiences that you've had with getting your treatment and then treating others and how that's like grown. Can you tell me, with Soul Bodyworks, like what was one of your first moments of like achievement when you were like, oh yeah, this is awesome?
So one of my biggest milestones was getting the offer to go work with the University of Arizona football team.
Yeah.
I've been working with them for about 2 years now, and I absolutely love it. They're always a great group of guys. The trainers they work with are amazing. So I have a lot of fun going in there. I go in there twice a week during the football season. And then a few times here once they start their spring ball. So I'm really excited.
Yeah,
to continue doing that.
Totally. That's super cool. That's really awesome.
Yeah. And then probably one of my other big achievements was just starting this business. Like, I mean, I never dreamed I would be having my own business, but here I am, and I love it. And it continues to grow. Honestly, so grateful for all my clients who have been with me from the beginning. I still have some of my originals, and I'm so, so grateful to them.
That's awesome.
And just so grateful to the amazing people I get to work with every day. I work in a gym full of amazing personal trainers, massage therapists, and physical therapists. And I'm just so blessed for all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that's a great like testament to the quality of your work as well, to have people who from the very beginning still stick with you through the quest of Soul Bodyworks. So what you got going on is working, and keep it up.
Yes, I would not be here without them. I'm so grateful.
Absolutely.
I always have somebody come in where they've been dealing with this pain forever.
Yeah.
They didn't know they could live life without it. They thought they were just stuck with it. And they come see me and they get off the table and they're like, oh my God, it is gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for me, that every time, it never gets old. Every time it happens, and I'm like, this is why I love doing what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. When your purpose and your actions resonate, it's just that sweet spot, right?
It really is. And I would never change it for the world. Like I love what I do.
That's great. That's really, really awesome. Not enough people really love what they do. So that's really a gem. So, you know, we talked about some of this, you know, some of these great moments of achievement, right? Look at the other side of the coin, you know, like what is like a common misconception about what you do that people approach you with?
Oh, yeah, this is like a soapbox for me.
Perfect. This is the place for it.
So a lot of times people say massage is just a luxury. I can't afford that because it's a luxury.
Yeah.
And I am on a mission to change that perception because it is very much needed.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm trying to educate people on the benefits of massage. And I feel like I'm a little different in the fact that I have the massage license as well as personal training and kettlebell certifications. I've also done a deep dive on a lot of other certifications. So I've added some other modalities that really help me in all my sessions.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Running a coaching business means balancing client meetings, building your visibility, reaching new audiences, all while staying on top of editing your content and scheduling. At L. Connor Voice LLC, we provide audio engineering services and content management to coaches looking to expand their reach without the hassle. We manage every detail so your podcast comes off sounding polished and professional, while you focus on what you do best. Spend more time coaching and less time editing. That sounds good to you? Schedule a free consultation. Follow my links in the episode notes. Reach out and let's talk.
And another misconception, honestly, is, you know, people come to me and they can only raise their shoulder or raise their arm to shoulder height.
Right.
And they think that's normal. And I'm like, that's common, but not normal.
Right.
Pain in the lower back, common, not normal.
Right. Yeah.
You know, for example, like, you know, twisting around to try and reach for something in your backseat of your car.
Yeah.
You should be able to do that. Maybe not safe on the road while you're driving, but that's something that you should be able to turn your body around to reach something in the back seat.
Totally.
And a lot of people can't do it. I mean, as you get older, getting up and down off the floor should still be something you're able to do.
Totally.
So yeah, I mean, so going back to what I started with massage being just a luxury, it's not. It's very much needed.
Yeah.
It can really help improve your health and wellness. It can help you get out of pain, get you moving better, and help you live a longer life. Pain-free. Like you don't have to live with the pain.
Totally. Absolutely. You know, and kind of like we mentioned earlier, you know, like a lot of things kind of cascade from that wellness and getting out of a place of pain, you know, like when you are physically feeling better, it's easier to mentally feel better and to be in a positive
Yes.
space. And it's a lot easier to do just about anything when you have a positive mindset. So yeah, absolutely. Like it's not, I hear what you're saying. It's like, it's not just a luxury, you know, and I'm going to go on a brief tangent here. So my wife's grandmother, she passed this past year, but she managed to live to 103 years old.
That's amazing.
Yeah, fantastic, right? A really great run. And she would have a weekly massage. And
yes.
And that was it was one of the things. I mean, she had a bunch of, you know, secrets to living a long and well-lived life. But part of what she did was get massages and take care of her physical well-being as best as she could. You know, and that is, you know, as far as we know, we only get one body, and taking care of it is really important. And it's easy to lose sight of it, especially when, you know, these days, like everything's so busy, everything's so fast, right? And so it's
right.
It's totally easy for me, like for me even, you know, just I'm so busy in a day, you know, I look at the clock, it's like, oh, it's way too late to go to the gym. Like I might not have time, but it is so important to make those times. Because again, taking it to a personal space, like when I am able to get my exercise and stretch and take care of myself, things continue to be better for me. You know, like I just feel better when I'm able to go and be active and take care of myself than in those busy times. And, you know, they're going to come, and obviously progress isn't linear. Right.
Right.
But it is so important, and it's important to make time for that. Like you gotta, what's the saying, right? You have to either make time for wellness or make time for illness.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't take care of yourself, your body will put you down and tell you, no, I need some time. And our bodies are amazing. If you give them the space and time to heal, your body will. You know, a lot of times in this world, we want quick fixes. We want that medication that can solve this real quick. But honestly, like if you give your body the time and space to heal, it will.
Yeah.
I always tell people, I don't fix your shit. Like I facilitate the healing to help your body heal itself.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a really nice distinction. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, my other thing too is like, I always tell people I work out of a gym.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that spa-like environment where it just feels good, I'm not the therapist for you. If you have an injury, if you have a problem, if you have a pain point, I can help you.
Yeah. Great. Well, that's a great segue. You know, if people are looking for like your location, like where are you?
So I am on the corner of Swan and Fort Lowell. I'm in a small boutique gym called Bodywork at Onyx.
Nice.
So we're in the Synergy Plaza. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Great. So, you know, we talked about, you know, some achievements. We've talked about some misconceptions and generally just kind of the story of Soul Bodyworks up until this point. But let's change our view to the future. You know, what are some goals that you're striving for right now?
So I am just on a mission to educate the community about massage, about training. I want to show the community that I work a little differently.
Yeah.
That yes, I do personal training. Yes, I do massage. But a lot of times when you come to me, those two are combined.
Yeah.
I work a little bit like a physical therapist.
Okay.
In the fact that you'll come in for a session. We're going to do some work on the table. Let's see how your body feels. I want to help do what I can with hands-on work to get you out of pain, get your body moving better. And then a lot of times I'll use movements in the gym to help emphasize that and to start building some resilience in your body to maintain the work that we just did on the table.
Right. That makes good sense. Right. So, you know, I'm sure that there are some listeners right now, they're experiencing pain, or they just want to, I don't know, find different modes of wellness and master their physicality. What may some of these folks be experiencing that should indicate that they reach out to you?
Yeah. So if you're experiencing any kind of, you know, pain in the lower back, you got a pain in the shoulder. You're trying to do your sport or whatever activity you love to do, and it just feels more difficult. You just maybe feel stiff. You feel tired. You just feel like you can't do the movement fluidly. A lot of people I see, they wake up in the morning and it's like instant soreness just upon waking up, or they slept funny and now they got a kink in their neck.
Yeah.
All those are really good signs to come see me.
Yeah. Absolutely. That makes sense. You know, if someone's having some pain, go talk to Becky.
Yeah. A lot of people I've worked with recently, like I'm working with a gentleman who's just come off surgery from an Achilles tear. I work with a few golfers who experienced low back pain.
Yeah.
Working with a lot of runners lately, there's a lot of running happening. So they're getting, pain in their feet, pain up, the leg a little bit.
Right.
All of this is not normal, and I can help with some massage and strength training.
Awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. So yeah, I want to touch again on your desire to educate folks. Following your socials, you have great clips of, the kettlebell workouts you're doing, helping people with massage, even some great content featuring horses. So, so it's all a lot of fun. And if you're not following Becky's socials, you should. And on that note, for those who want to learn more about Soul Bodyworks and hear more of your insights, where can they go?
Yeah, so I'm pretty active on Instagram. You can follow me at the Kettlebell Whisperer.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah, it was that was a blend of my two hobbies that I love, the kettlebells and the horses.
Yeah.
Shout out to my friend Amar here at the gym who helped me come up with that.
Nice.
So Instagram's a great way to connect with me. My website as well, it's soulbodyworksaz.com. All my info is on there, how you can reach me, any events I have coming up, the services I offer, all there on my website.
Perfect. And folks, we're going to have links to all of Becky's socials and websites in the episode notes. So just go ahead and check those out and get in contact. So I heard you mention you have events. So, we're recording this. We're recording this in mid-December 2024. This won't really be released until I think the end of January about. But with that in mind, are there any events that people should keep an eye out for?
Yeah, so I have a few monthly events that happen. One of them is I do massage over at Tucson Cold Plunge.
Okay.
So those of you who aren't familiar, Tucson Cold Plunge, you get to cold plunge, sauna. They have red light. They have biomat. They also have the compression boots. So you can book a 1-hour recovery session with them. And then as an add-on, once a month, I offer my massage services. So I'll go down there with my table. Yeah. You can add on either 15-minute or 30-minute session to your 1-hour recovery session and get a massage in the process. I also have just started doing, now that the weather's nice, monthly hikes through Network Outdoors. So sweet. Once a month, I'll be leading a hike with them as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool.
The main events. Yeah.
Sweet. And so people can just check out your social medias and follow, and those are happening.
Yes. And then this isn't so much as an event, but I also offer kettlebell classes. Cool. So for anybody who, may not want to do one-on-one sessions, I do offer classes. So I actually have a great group of ladies right now. Shout out to them. They started this class for me, and they've been coming to me for 2 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. So I teach a class. I'll break down the kettlebell movements for you. You get to hang out with some awesome people in the process, and just learn some kettlebells and get in a great workout. So I offer that twice a week.
Nice. That sounds like a good time. Mm-hmm. And we can find more information about that on your website as well.
Yes. Everything on that is on my website. You can buy a drop-in session or you can buy a package.
Great. Perfect. And folks, again, the links are in the episode notes. So go ahead and check those out and get in contact with Becky, the Kettlebell Whisperer. Love that name. That's really a fantastic
Thank you.
Well, Becky, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking with us about, again, the culmination of your experiences, both through your own pain and through helping others, and how that's, helped you make Soul Bodyworks what it is today, and also sharing the goals that you have for the future. I really, really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
But
thank you for having me on.
Of course. But before I can let you go, I have to ask you one question that I ask every person who comes on this show. What is one thing out of the many that you love about Tucson? It's a toughie.
Well, I originally moved to Tucson for the warm weather. Yeah. I wanted to be able to ride my horse year round and not freeze my butt off. So I love the warm weather, and it's been a great community to live in, especially for health and wellness. Like, it's really up and coming here, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for it.
Yeah, me too. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Becky, for being on the show. Folks, go ahead and check out Becky's links and get in contact. And I guess until next time, toodaloo.
And that's a wrap for another episode of T Lokes, your go-to podcast for uncovering the untold stories of Tucson's local businesses and nonprofits. A big thank you to our incredible listeners for joining us on this journey of connection and discovery. I want to extend a huge thank you to Becky Wesoloski from Soul Bodyworks for coming on the show today and sharing how her personal wellness journey and passions has shaped the organization Soul Bodyworks that has helped people and horses get out of pain and getting back to doing what they love. Show them some love and check out their links in the episode notes. A big thank you to Louis Sanders from Sound Monk Studios for composing the awesome T Lokes theme music. If you enjoyed today's episode and want to stay connected with Tucson's vibrant business scene, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback is invaluable, and it helps us continue bringing you engaging conversations. As we wrap up, remember that T Lokes isn't just a podcast, it's a community. Let's keep the conversation going on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or our Discord channel and share your thoughts, suggestions, or even recommend a local business or nonprofit you'd like to see featured on the show. Thank you once again for being a part of the T Lokes community. Until next time, stay connected, stay inspired, and keep supporting the heartbeat of Tucson. Toodaloo.